Good morning everybody. Today we're going to be showing you the wood that I've ordered for the Catio that I'm going to be building. And I've never built anything like this before in my life, and I've convinced myself that it will be easy enough, which is crazy, but it is what it is. So this here is the wire mesh that I'm going to be using, and this is going to go on the side, and that is to stop my kitties escaping. These are going to be the main posts that hold the Catio up, and then we've got some additional support beams, and then these nice chunky ones, these are for the main support of one of the sides, so hopefully it works alright. So all I'm going to do today is show you where it's going to go, hi Ella, and show you clearing out of that area because there's lots of plants in there at the moment. It's supposed to be about 33 degrees today, and that is much too hot for me. I do not like being in direct sunlight. I don't know why, maybe it's the English in me, but I really dislike it. So we're not going to be doing any manual labour today. We're just going to be doing the bare minimum. And yeah, so I'm going to go and show you that area now. So this here is the area that we are working with. So what I need to do is move all of these plants, and then move all of these plants as well, and those tree stumps in the back. Because the Catio is going to go here, it's going to go up to about 2.5 meters out from the wall. So we're going to have a gap down the side, and then I'm going to put these stumps back in for them. And they're also going to get some plants and bushes for them to sit under and play with and do whatever they want to do when they're out there. Yeah, miss. But the first thing I need to do is empty it so I can start to plan out on the ground and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to move all of these, and we're going to put them elsewhere in the garden. It doesn't matter where they go, it's just going to go somewhere else. Hello everybody, so it's about 8 o'clock in the morning now, so I've moved almost all of the plants and things that were in this area. The only things left is that box with the spiders, and then the wood in the back, and I'm using this wood for the construction so that can stay. The big tree is going to go somewhere, but currently it's being held up by that big stump. And then yeah, so I just need to move the wood, which will be relatively difficult because it is quite heavy, and then that's it. So the garden is a bit of a state at the moment because there's so much in such a little space, but it's fine because it shouldn't be there for long, probably a week or two, depending on the weather and how much work I get done. But yeah, so it's been a lot of work and I'm very hot, so I might have to have a bit of a break for now and just see what I get done. But I also need to oh, look at the invasive slug, flatworm. Oh no, I'm gonna go and get some salt and salt those. They're very invasive. They're called Obama flatworms and they need to go, so I'm gonna go get some salt and get rid of them and then mow the lawn. So I'll be back in a bit. This is what we've ended up with all of the grass mowed, especially down this corner, and these are going to stay there because they're heavy and they're going to go back in the Catio anyway, so they're probably going to be steps up to the window. And then yeah, I think this is all we're going to do today because it's too hot, and that is full of spiders, so I can stay there for a bit. But this is all what we're working with, and hopefully those mongrels enjoy it and appreciate the work that goes into it, so we'll see. Good morning everybody, it is much cooler today and therefore we're going to get started on the Catio. I've used a very high-tech measuring guide, i.e. salt on the ground, to point out where I'm going to be using the auger to dig some big holes. So I'm probably not going to film that, I'm just going to film once the holes are dug, because I need to dig I think 8, so that'll be fun. But yeah, the weather is much nicer today. I'm definitely here for the cooling down of the country, so let's take advantage of it whilst we can. So let's get to digging some big holes. I know I said I wasn't going to record this bit, but look at that massive rock. It looks like a brick that the builders have buried. And this is a new build house, and it seems that what they've done to save money on topsoil, or soil in general, is just put all of the building rubble in the ground. Like, look at these rocks that are just coming out of it. It's crazy how many stones and rocks are in the ground. And so it's probably why nothing is growing very well. It's just insane. Like, look at the size of that chunk of rock or stone, whatever it is. I've been trying to dig it out for about 10 minutes. I'm getting a bit frustrated now. So, yeah, just be mindful. If you buy a new build house, just be prepared to dig out a quarry if you ever want to plant or build anything. So just be mindful of that. I used the auger and that helped get it out, and this is what it is. It just looks like a chunk of brick that has been broken off from something, and they just threw it on the ground. So that's nice. Go in there with the rest of the bricks, and we're going to continue to dig now. Hopefully we don't come across anything else like that, though I'm sure we will. So let's just get digging again. Hello everybody. So these are the holes that I've dug. There's 2 and 3. And then there's this one and this one over here. The other 3 are there with the post that's already in. It's just buried in down there. And then these are the logs that I'm going to use for the cats to get in and out of that window. So because I don't think Jerry's going to come out very much at all, just because I took him out the other day and he really didn't like it. So I think only the little cats are going to come out, and they are perfectly capable of kind of like working their way down. So if they need something else, we'll figure something out for them. But for now, I think that's fine. This is another one of the posts. And then this one over here. And these are just in the ground by mud and just the ground. I've not used postcrete or anything like that because I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. And it should be quite secure without that, and they're not in the ground very far, especially on this side. So it should be okay. And because these are so deep as well, if you can see how deep that is, then I don't think that it will be necessary to use postcrete. But for now, and because it's starting to rain, I don't want to have my camera outside, I'm going to put the posts in here, in these 4, and see if I can get them perfectly level so I can put the top beam on the top. And once that's done, I will come back and show you. So this here is the 4 posts for the entranceway. So this middle bit here is going to be where the door goes, and then that post over there is a bit taller. So the ones across the long wall are the same height, so that's just going to have a bar that goes across to where it's level, and then the roof is going to slant down across, kind of like from here all the way down, slanted over here. And so we're going to get a saw. We're going to cut this long post here, this one that's on the floor, that one. We're going to cut that so it fits across the top, and that's then going to kind of block that in. And then we're going to use these, which are, I don't know, 1.5 inch thick, and that's going to go along the bottom, so along here and there and there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put one at the top as well along here on this side. Maybe, maybe not, but I definitely will on the door, just to make the door a little bit shorter because I don't need it that tall. And then again, we're going to do the same on this side. I might do it, to be fair, just to reinforce it, but I've not decided yet, so that's something to decide in the next 20 minutes. And yeah, so we've used this, I don't know what it's called, thing to make sure that the posts are straight, and then once the bar is along the top, that should make it a lot more solid, and then we can work a bit more. But Emrys is helping. She's my little apprentice. Emrys! She's not very good at listening though. She likes to ignore me sometimes. So yeah, we're going to focus on this side for now, just so that's done. I think it'll be easier to do that before I then move on to this post and that post, just because these are the longer ones, so these ones are going to be a bit more involved. This one isn't as involved, obviously. So yeah, we're going to focus here, and then let's just go set up the saw and get some sawing done. So yeah, let's go. It's about 3 minutes later and I've changed my mind. We're not going to cut this one because I'm going to use that for something else. What we're going to do instead is to just put the thick posts. So this one, we're going to cut that and put them in between. And we're going to use that as a top bar. And we're going to do that because that will be easier. It will save this wood, and it's not necessary, I don't think, to have one that goes straight across the top because the other ones will be bolted in to the standalone posts. As you can tell, I have planned this in my head and not properly. So if you are going to be making Catio, I strongly suggest that you plan it a lot better than I did. And I am a complete novice. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just doing what I think would work as a non-professional guessing. So if this works, I'll be as surprised as you. So let's just go do that instead and go from there. Hopefully it works. We'll see if it does or not. But we can hope and we can see. So I'm going to go do some measuring and do some cutting. So let's go and do that. This is my setup for cutting the wood. Do you appreciate what I've got? I was going to use a saw, not a saw, I can't think of what they're called, an electric saw, but I can't find it. That is the wrong piece of equipment. That's not what I thought it was, so we're not using that. We're going to be using this, very old-fashioned. It's what we're supposed to use as humans, and safety first. Got a visor just in case I have something fly up into my face. I'm not going blind today. So this is what we've got. This is the first bar that we're using. I'm just going to go double check that it actually fits and go from there. Hopefully it does, otherwise I'll be upset. So yeah, that's the next step. It fits. Yay! So well done me for being able to cut a piece of wood. It's beautiful. I'm very proud of myself. And what we're going to do is connect it together, like with the sides, with these corner brackets. And look how long they are. Perfectly long enough for this. It's kind of maybe overkill. I don't really know. But I don't want my cat escaping, so this is what we're doing. But before we are going to connect that one, we're going to put this one across the middle first, because and there we are. And I think that post is a little bit too high, to be honest, but it's fine. I don't care that much. So we're going to put this bar across in the middle because I want a second bar underneath the first one to make the door a little bit smaller. And so I'm going to have to then drill in from here across into the next panel, and then the bracket is going to go in the one underneath it. So that's what we're going to do. It's a bit complicated explaining it like this because I don't really know the terms, but we're going to go to do that. And then yeah, this here is what we've got so far. Is it perfect? No. But is it functional? Absolutely. So the next step is to make the door frame for here. Oh, big stretchy. She's been my apprentice all day. She's very exhausted, bless her. And then, so we're going to do the door, and then we're going to put in the mesh here and over there, and then this side will be near enough done for all intents and purposes. So that'll be good. My mum's just getting a rotary saw because I can't find ours that we already have, and it's a lot of work using a handheld saw, and they're not getting cut very straight because I'm not very good at using a handheld saw apparently. So a rotary one would be much better. So that would be much easier then to make the door. So yeah, that's the next stages, and I'll show you once that is complete. I think this is going to be the final update of the day. So we've got one load of mesh on there. I know I said I was going to do the door first, but I got distracted and I was waiting for the saw, so I've not done that. Instead we put this on, and we've used these little hook things. I had used some staples, but it was really difficult to use a staple gun, so we've used the little hooky things with the hammer. It was quite difficult, I must admit, but it's done now, and it looks really good, so it's definitely coming together, and with that I can definitely see where I'm going with it, and I'm quite happy with it so far. It's much better than I thought it would be. I thought I would give up about 6 hours ago, but yeah, my apprentice is back. Hey baby girl. So yeah, probably the last update for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. So yeah. Good morning everybody, we are back with my apprentice. Wants to play. put on this side of the plate now. So it's really starting to actually look like what I want it to look like, which is good. And today we're going to be working on this side, putting in the posts and making sure all the foundations are done. And I'm quite excited to do this. And yesterday we bought a new rotary saw, I think I've mentioned that, and my mum also got me a stapler, like an electric stapler, because it is a lot easier than using these, and our current staplers aren't very easy to use on uprights. So that is what we're going to be doing. I will add some of these anchors onto it just in case, because these I feel like are a lot more solid than staples. So for example, here is a staple that we used yesterday, and there is a lot more give in them, so I might actually hammer that down. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get this mostly finished today. Actually, I'm going out tomorrow, so I don't have tomorrow to do it, but if I don't get it all done today, then it will be on Thursday. The baby wants to play. Oh, she's so skilled. But yeah, so just going to put in the posts and make sure that they're all aligned, and go from there. Or I was thinking of putting on this top bar. I think that might be more sensible to then secure this one, because this is a bit wobbly still, because this side isn't as deep in the ground as these ones. So if we come over here, see that this doesn't wobble nearly as much, which is what we're obviously looking for. But I think having the bar across the top will be a lot more secure. So I'll see what I come up with next, but I think I will actually do this side first and then go from there. So I will show you how that process goes. So this is what we've got so far. So we've got this side finished, near enough, just got to put the door on. And then we've got these big bars across the bottom to hold it in place. We've got part of the roof on, and this is chicken wire. It doesn't look as good as I thought it would, I must admit. It kind of sags in the middle, you can see. So it's not great, but the cats aren't going to be on the roof, so it doesn't matter. And then we've got this bar across here, because it then holds this really steady. So that's not going anywhere. So we've nearly finished. So we're going to put this chicken wire on the roof, and then it's just going to be the side panels with the wire, which shouldn't be too hard. So hopefully I can finish it today, and then if not, it will definitely get finished tomorrow, assuming there is no rain, which isn't on the forecast, so it should be fine. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with how things have turned out so far, and I just hope that nothing goes wrong in the rest of the build. So I'm going to go put the roof on and see you shortly. And it's finished. So we've got the roof on, the side is now done. Please excuse the kind of blurry video, I don't know why it's doing that. And the sides are complete, so they've been tied up with zip ties all across here, which I think will be perfectly fine to keep these beasts inside. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how it has turned out. Like I said before, it's not perfect, but it does exactly what I needed to do in terms of keeping those beasties inside. And to keep the door locked, we've got these little hooks on both sides. So we've got some on this side, so we can come in and sit with the cats, and that keeps the door closed. And then we've got that on the other side as well, just so we can close it after us. So that's nice. So what I'm going to do now is tidy up all of these zip ties and any loose bits of metal and staples on the floor, get rid of all of that wire, and then just arrange it ready for the cats tomorrow. So I was going to bring them out tonight, but I think it'll be better when they get a full day to really kind of investigate and get to grips with their new adventure suite. So yeah, I'll show you how I'm going to set it up for them with all the plants and stuff shortly. So I'm going to move these, and hopefully it's good for them. So yeah. So this is what we have today. So this is the first morning, or the first time, that the kitties will be allowed outside. in here because it is entirely enclosed now, and I've added these plants, and obviously they're all in pots at the moment, but I've added these to hopefully give them something to entertain themselves with, and they've got their little ladder out of the window as well. This space is a bit empty now because I've got to get some other pots, and there's some more wood that I'd like to add, but I need some help to move them, so we're going to do that a bit later because it's already getting warm today. But yeah, so this is what we are working with today, and hopefully the kitties like it. They've got plenty of places to go and to sniff, so yeah, I'm sure they'll have a nice time. Hopefully they're not too frightened to come out, and even if they are, I'll give them an hour and then I'm sure they would be perfectly happy with that. So I'm gonna go and get one of them. So I'll just put the camera in here and then we can just see what they do. So thank you for watching this journey with me. It's been a lot of effort and a lot of time, but it's definitely worth it, and I really do hope that the cats enjoy this outdoor space and that they get a lot of happiness and fun out of it. So let's go and get one.